Hey, I'm Kev Must welcome back to Ride 3, where last time I completed Tier 2. So at the beginning of Tier 3, we're going to the early 90s, sports bikes before the technological revolution. The bikes you find on these pages come from a historic period when the electronics used on bikes were still in its infancy. Engineers worked much more on the prime materials, and improvements were found via mechanics and creativity. Tennis frames, oval pistons, innovative suspension systems such as the Manji parallelogram or that of the bimotor Testi. These are just a few of the advances created in those years, which have spawned bikes that were unique in their genre. So we have got 5 races in this site. Actually, no, it's like 4 races and maybe the championship at the end. And then we get the bimotor SB8K from 2,495 pp. First up, we've got some Italian genius round Monza, as we have got a couple of DLC bikes to choose from. We've got the sports bikes pack, the Italy pack as well. What else do we have? Oh, we only have another Ducati 888 SP5, which actually might be the best of the lot, actually, looking at it. Looks like it's even better than, oh, actually, no, the FB8 seems to be a bit better than that. Should we go for that? Actually, I haven't really ridden a Ducati much, though. I'm tempted to go with a Ducati. Not that I like Ducati or anything either. No, let's go with the YB8. So I think we've ridden this before, because I remember the description. It's the Italian Italy that hosted the Alpine Ski World Cup in 1977. Yeah, it's also the name of one of the most iconic and expensive bimotor bikes ever made. In the early 90s, bimotors were particularly popular in Japan, and this probably explains the name chosen for this particular model. Its strength is the 1002cc transfer 4-cylinder Yamaha engine used on 1901 FZRs. To increase performance, an electronic fuel injection system was used with injectors positioned opposite the air inlet and a 48mm throttle valves. These adjustments allowed the bike to gain almost 20 horsepower, reaching 164 horsepower at 10,500 RPM. An amazing power for the time, and acceleration was incredible too. As I'm pretty sure we have done this, as be careful with feeling there's no electronics to help us. So here we go then on our bimotor, as I actually have a setup for this bike, so yeah, definitely have ridden it before. So let's see how we do. Over 3 laps. As we could have actually started normally, so short shifted up. I forget these bikes are actually pretty grounded at the start. Let's try and dive it to not be last. So we're on the Honda slightly. And to the outside, past everyone. Oh, they aren't even there. Let's go through curve of the Massano. Up into the top 5. Could take 4th as well. They need to break at 200, maybe around 150 would be better. Let's go through the chicane. Of course, you go wide with the Dead of Oggio. Everyone goes wide there as you go through the Lesbos. Right in the tail of the Ducati. It's all backed out of it. And they're a bit slow on the apex, so we're back through into the podium places. Getting some stars. Getting a couple of stars. Hopefully getting all the stars maybe by the end of this lap. This one's again braking a bit early. It's all a bit wide. To go through a scurry on the exit. Green stuff's part of the track. As this maybe we set a bit low for this bike, as head towards Parabolica. God, I do love the sound of these bikes a bit more as well. Feels a bit more guttural. I'm not sure how to explain it. I've been watching The Punisher season 2 on Netflix. Every time Frank grunts, that's what this bike sounds like. It sounds like Frank Castle grunting. If anybody watches The Punisher, they will understand. It sounds like that. It sounds like it's about to set off, shall we say. I know, a bit compressed and a bit computerized. Unfortunately, like all milestone sounds. Just a bit too much. I mean, it's not as bad as Gran Turismo still, but otherwise say it'd be a full Frank Castle grunt. It's almost a Frank Castle grunt. Kind of halfway house between that and a vacuum cleaner. So a vacuum grunt, shall we say. So we've got half the race to go. It sounds like we're leading comfortably enough. But when we know our opponents slow down the exit of the Ascari for no reason. Let's go over the curves. I thought the curves are normally bad for Ascari. Then you look at that big fat chunky curve in the middle from the 80s. Kind of merged with the modern day curves. It's a bit weird. So there we go. There's our 7/10 up to a second we gain on that corner, because of course they lose the traction, they lose the run to this Ascari. I want to say Ascari corner, but it doesn't really feel like it. It's so wide. It's got a bit weird of camber to it as well. Once again, I do wonder what data Milestone use for all of these circuits as you go into the final lap. It's a bit like Raceroom as well, because Raceroom do the same methods. From what I understand, they don't actually laser scan, they do their own data, and so some of the circuits are a bit weird in the Raceroom games. I remember Race 07 having some weird, what felt like weird layouts. They're better on Raceroom now. They're much more realistic. I wouldn't say they're as realistic as, say, iRacing or Assetto Corsa. But they're getting there. And the good thing about Raceroom as well is they're releasing some content soon. The ADAC GT Masters 2018 pack coming. And it comes with the Autodrome Most as well from the Czech Republic, which we rarely see. As well, I've got a dash warning on the right hand side. They're saying I'm overheating the engine or something. Or was that not actually a dash warning? It was just confusing me. It's in a red light there. So yeah, that should be pretty exciting in Raceroom. So you might actually see Raceroom for once as well. That definitely was the goals that said on this channel, to show more sim racing. I do know with iRacing. Do you know with Richard Burns, with Dirt Rally, with Dirt Rally 2.0. So hopefully you can actually add the proper sims as well, and more proper sims like, so of course the Competizione this year, R Factor 2, and Raceroom as well, Automobilista, all of them. As we sail to victory. That was way too easy. Probably should have nipped at the difficulty before then, as yes, give us all the stars. There's 7 seconds. As next up is a track day at Magny-Cours, 24 overtakes to do. Bloody hell. So you've got around 2 minutes 20 to do it, so a lap and a half, I think. It kind of equates to. We'll go for this final section. First victim on the board. Just 23 to go. So this is actually a bike we could actually use first gear with as well. So we might have to do that a bit more. As we go through this long right hand. I love this corner, especially in the old F1 games. Like F1 2000 doing that corner, so sweet. Got to 4. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting they had bonus time as well, so it's not actually 2:20 you've got to do this in. That's just the initial time you get given. But this is working out well, this traffic. I know, saying that, now we've got this corner coming up. I know we can get them on the entrance. And then into the ever tightening left-hander. Such a tricky corner to get right. Especially for the more powerful bikes, I'm guessing, we're going to try out. Like in the modern day superbikes. That's why, what are you doing? Saints dude. So this might actually be 2 laps of the circuit. Or we just have time for 1 as get past the Ducati. Almost halfway there. He's still got quite a lot of time left. This is actually pretty encouraging. So you got up to 13. This all the green stuff actually slows you down slightly though. Well, you always want to make a move at Manicourt into the first corner. It's all a bit wide for the right. God, you have to be so patient to get on the power at just the right moment. So we're definitely going to smash 1 star. It's just about whether we're going to get all 3. I reckon it's going to be pretty touch and go. Especially about brake ourselves like that. Here comes the start. So 18, 19, 20. Trying to plan out where we're going to hit these riders. So there's 21 and 22 in front, so we could definitely get 2 stars, I think. Just seeing where the other 2 riders are in front of them. So you see 23. So once again, passing into that left. So there's 2 stars. They are the last 2 in front. Oh, are we going to have enough time? It's going to be very close. Especially about brake ourselves again. Down the inside. Yes. Comfortably did it in the end. As we get another full allotment of stars, 3 of them. As now we head to Vallelunga with engines revving in the night. So we are not playing some Barry White as well. I feel like we should be. That title as we get underway for 3 laps. And a proper start as well past everyone, it looks like. Leader's trying to get away a bit. So we survive. Looking boots with the Ducati as you get up to 2nd. Superb start. Let's go into the tight corners. And now we're not going straight ahead for once. Going to the left. As we hear the drone of everyone behind us. And there's a drone of everyone powering into the back of us. So a 2nd back. He's not bowing down to us, trying to pull away a bit. So that's a bit wide. Probably saved us from the ploughing note, so that's probably a good thing in the end. That's such a weird corner, that is. That left and right. Let's go downhill. We are gaining a bit in this last sector. So we're a 2nd back. We're definitely closer than that now. I feel like we're a bit conservative in 1st gear. But we're not accelerating as well. Let's go into the final corner. Do love that rear brake just glowing up. Let's probably need to get it down to 1st for the final corner. So we're a 2nd back. And clipping grass. Get hard on the power. Again clipping grass, again costing ourselves time. So go, get more aggressive into that right-hander. So 7/10 back, well we're much closer than that now. This is the set to where we kind of lose a bit though. All these switchback corners, these rights and lefts, you used to lose some time a bit. Just not as good getting on the power. No, it's fine then, that was pretty decent. Oh my god, we're actually going to hit the apex of the left-hander for once, so we would have if there wasn't a bimotor alongside us. And then into this weird left and right. Just because you're kind of turning back on yourself. I know this is most of the circuit, but so do we dive? Oh, you're a bit slow, mate. We'll take the lead then. Put us in the spotlight. Who feels like they got a searchlight on us when we go past? Go towards the final corner. It's all a bit wide. Going to power nice and early. That's what I love about these earlier bikes. They just grip. It's not too much power. You just slam the throttle and then it just feeds it in nice and gently. So 3/10 up and going wide. I'm sure that's the name of an album somewhere. That's how we put in the lead. Into this to the right. Just hook up that apex. Don't be afraid of doing that either, as always. Lost a couple of tenths, no surprise there. Oh, once again outbraked ourselves into the left. Taking our own circuit. So now got second all over us. But we know we're good into that left-hander. Let's go downhill through the right. Got a bit of a Mugello feel that corner. That corner near the final sector. Except not as long. There's our corner. That's where we can build a bit of a gap, hopefully, for these final couple. Just using all the curbing. Through the final corner, let the bike drift a bit, then just slam that throttle. And head towards the line for another victory. Oh, it's looking very good on this bike, isn't it? As yes, give us all of those coins. We're getting up there towards 1 million. Just noticed that. Only 3 stars for this race. It's a bit harder, that one, than the Monza one. As now we head to Cardwell Park. Roller coasters in the rain. So we are at our favourite hell as we rev it up. Especially when it's raining. For 3 laps of fun here. Round the short circuit, so we've got to brake heavily very soon. Guess that's now. So we can take the lead. I'll take that. Get out of here, everyone. See, dive bombing does work. As we go over the hill, don't even lose barely any time as well. We've got half a second lead. As we go through the S's. And into this tight corner as is that a Honda trying to go around our outside? So this is interesting, and it's the second after that which we're doing. So we can just dive bomb and take the lead then every time. Let's start this second lap. There we go. As well, what is he doing? I just cut the circuit. We'll take that. She's just hold off. I think that's the Suzuki behind us, is it? No, this is just a bright blue person. As you go on to the final lap, do we? Yeah. Then over that. No acceleration. Down to first. So there we go, that's decent. We're still half a second in front. We were half a second in front. Now defend the inside. So we force our fellow Bimoto wide. Into the final corner, accelerate hard. No, Bimoto. Are you kidding? We're going to get mugged in the final corner. Why are you celebrating, man? See, it's going swimmingly in his volume. Then we go to Cadwell. Then we get mugged at the final corner. But not even the same Bimoto. Different model. So finally we head to English Hilly Races, but we head to the Ulster Grand Prix Northern Ireland. Might need to resync that name. So we are now lined up in Ulster as we've got something to fight for. Revenge. As we rev it up and get underway for 3 laps. Oh, for God's sake. Why can't it just be a 2-lapper? Just a gentle 2-lapper, you know? As we make it 3 wide. You know, just a gentle race. Let's go. Let it start up to 4th already. Trying to get into those podium places. So go dive down the inside, a bit wide onto the grass on the exit. Bit sloppy there. That's all. I thought we had to really back out there. Instead, that's how you normally brake. Put a hairpin if you take the lead. As they've got really long gears as well. Hopefully they're not too long for here. I just noticed that for the default setup, the gears are so long. I was going to hear them gaining on us. I can hear them hitting us. It's all a bit wide for the right. But a little bit of grass tracking is hurting no one. Just a little bit, not too much. Go for the right. As I just realised, that red icon, or red light, that means you have to do that oil change thing, isn't it? For the engine. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. See, I'm only a tiny bit slow. Especially on this bike with this gear at the moment. Look at that, we're struggling to hit 150. Should be easy maxing it out. So I didn't have to lift for that corner. It's the next corner where we lift as they make the move. Thanks for doing it into that corner, that was a wonderful job. And now here we are on the back foot. There's the drone behind us. Trying to catch up. See, we're just losing time in front. At least we're pretty good through the corners though. And that initial acceleration. Just when it gets very high speed. We have nothing. So go back into the lead. It could be a good battle this race. Thanks to our mistake with the gearing. Going to the right. And on the final section of the lap. So easy to catch us out. That wasn't too bad though in that first part. But it's this right left coming up. Where that right's a bit tighter and then the left is much tighter. There we go, backed it up nicely. For the final corner, get it down to second, hammering the engine. But it gives us good acceleration as you go across the line, 341.1. And a 2.6 second lead. Made that all up in that final section. That's pretty incredible. That's how you take the right-hander. Now we've got this lead, now we can just enjoy riding this bike round here. First of all, braking properly for the right or not. Get going. There's no bimotor. At least we're in the slipstream. At least we did it on a corner where everyone actually begins in first gear. It's really slow. There you go. Easy take back the lead. There you go. Nice and comfortable through that right hander. Was not clenching at all. Same through that right. Again, beautiful line. Just clipping the grass or hedge and air. Always have to get air through some corners. It's the only way to be quick when you have no wheels on the ground. Don't think I need to brake into that corner. Maybe just go down the gear to help the acceleration out of there. Let's see if we can nail this right-hander then. Slight lift. Oh my god, did you see the air we got on the exit? Bloody hell. Getting a bit wide for the right. Again, just clipping that grass, you know, taking it to the limit. How do you know if you're taking it to the limit if you're not taking something home with you in the exhaust or your leathers? You know? As you head towards the right-hander. That's a bit gentle though, that right-hander. Could have pushed that to the max. Could have taken some curb home with us, you know? If we're going to do that. We go into this section. Not our best section, this section. Saying that was pretty nice early on the power. Got a bit ride through the actual hairpin. As we celebrate and run away. Or accelerate, yep, and run away. Not celebrate. Well, we do kind of celebrate, we took the corner. Did not need to get it down to second there. Braked a bit too late for that corner. As we're getting pretty close to the hedges. So now we're taking some hedge with us. Just collecting from all parts of the circuit as well. Gonna power hard across the line. 3:35 or 3:36. We can do a 3:35. Let's lead by 4.5 seconds on this final lap. And I say, what a way to end this volume as well. Going around Ulster. Definitely is great fun. Now that I know the circuit, it's a bit terrifying at first. So there we go, that's how you take the hairpin. Yeah, including the grass on the exit. There's that man stranded with... don't know what that is on the left hand side. It's like a Mini. Just stranded by the side of the road like, I might as well watch the bike race. Don't know where the recovery services are. Well, they've shut the roads for the bike race. Don't know why he's complaining so much. So now 6.3 in the lead. Just looking around at the rolling hills as well around this circuit. Absolutely amazing. That was a bit better, a bit more on terra firma. Do love that right hander, the last one, because you're going to attack that so much. This one, not so much. I know turning in early does not help. Okay, apparently you're not going to be flying. This might be the rare race where 2 mistakes and we still win. Don't know how we're still leading. It's just turned it a bit too early in that left. So we go nice air. Let's try and get this right. Did not get that right. It was a bit too cautious there. Well, so we got the acceleration off the corners. We lead by just 0.6 of a second. Trying to gift them the race, really. We're holding on. Well, I braked a bit too late into that corner. Maybe it was just at the right point, but they get the gear changes right there to get a bit of engine braking. That's a bit wide. Braking for a corner that wasn't even there. Now into the hairpin. Just going to power nice and early, so right on our tail there. Again, we could just run away in this final part. So I turned it a bit too much to the right there. But I just could have just rolled the bike beautifully. In the following corner. So we go into the final corner. Bit wide, bit of the grass clippings. Just an average corner in this race. So that's a horrible find on that with the crash. But we win. That's all that matters. We get all the stars. And we love the Ulster Grand Prix track. As we get 8 of them as well. Definitely deserved that, as our fastest lap was only less than 2 seconds quicker. As that's the volume complete, I'll go back to Cadwell. And I'll get that damn star. As next time up, it is the Super Sport 600, a generation gap. As we're going faster. But I hope you enjoyed the return of Ride 3. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.